Today we're going to talk about this outdoor sofa that I built for a customer and why charging $500 wasn't enough. Make sure you stick around to the end and I'll explain to you what I'm going to charge the next time I build one of these. I'm really happy with how this outdoor sofa turned out, and there wasn't any problems with the build. Everything went pretty smoothly. I just didn't charge enough for this. I was more in the headspace of, this is made from 2x4 cedar, cut it to length, pocket hole joinery, glue and screw it together, and be out the door pretty quick. All some of the activities, as we all know, sanding is our favorite thing to do, and it adds up quickly. Doing the finishing work adds up quickly. And then another aspect that threw this quote off was the materials. I didn't account for the cost of the finish and the cost of some of the exterior deck screws used in the project. So I ended up charging the customer $500 for it. I have about $320 in materials. So still a $180 profit, which isn't bad. Just the amount of time that I spent to get there was too much. I have about 10 hours into the project, so it put me about 18 bucks an hour, which isn't terrible, but when you're running a business, you gotta pay taxes and stuff out of that. That's not where you want to be. So the takeaway for me from this is we just can't be afraid to charge what things are worth. We're not going to be able to compete with big box stores and their mass-produced furniture and do it as cheaply as places such as IKEA. We have to price for what it is, and that's custom handmade furniture. And the reality is we shouldn't be competing with the box stores. This is just a different level of furniture and a different style of furniture, different build quality. People enjoy that this was handmade and like the story behind these pieces instead of picking up at a mass-produced box store. Another takeaway I'm going to have from this is I'm going to start building out a time tracker. I want to track how much time I spend in each step. I'm curious to know how much time I'm spending retrieving materials, hauling materials, and then prepping for projects. And I'm going to also start adding in a little extra percentage to what I think my material quote is to cover all the small shop supplies, so your sanding discs, your finish, some of your shop rags, and other things of that nature. The next time I build one of these, and I'm going to try to market to sell more of these, I'm going to charge quite a bit more. I would like to shoot for that $40 to $50 an hour profit. I can achieve that in two different ways. Like I said, I'm going to increase the price, but I also need to look at how I can save time on the assembly. And part of that is this is my first time building this exact style. So if I market and sell this style, I'll have that build knowledge behind me and I can speed up some of the assembly process. But the biggest one for this specific project is figuring out how I can apply finish faster. I can look into some different style of finishes that maybe I can get on quicker, and also just going to be increasing that price. So factoring the materials that I had at $320, I'm probably going to account for $350 to $375 in materials to make sure I account for all of the shop products that I used, such as sanding discs, rags, etc. If I have about 10 hours into the build and I want to get to that $40 to $50 an hour range, I need to charge another $500 for labor. So I'd be sitting anywhere in that $850 to $900 for this project. This is a common thing all of us woodworkers fight when we're starting out and trying to turn our hobby into a business or earn extra money or trying to make full-time income. Is there's a lot to figure out when it comes to pricing in all different areas of business. If you like this style of content, please subscribe and follow along, and I'll keep you updated as I go through my journey.